right now. Hello!
Oi! Boa tarde, gente. Tudo bem?
Boas tardes, pessoal. Estamos a
Sejam
falar agora
bem-vindos a mais um episódio de Between Two Geeks!
without Ruben. Yay!
Ai, nossa.
He's going to put a curse on us. So,
Yes.
yes.
Não sei, eu não estou à espera que ele vá ver as
Não,
streams.
eu acho que ele vai aparecer, vais ver. Isso.
Veremos.
Sim. Então, boa tarde, bem-vindos a todos. Hoje estamos aqui num ambiente meio geométrico. A nice joke. Okay.
Ele está ali.
Eu disse. Oh, I am already. Yeah, I know that, Ruben. I know. He's watching us. Oh God.
Desgraça.
Oh God.
Mas sim, estou aqui a ver o novo layout. Está bastante giro. Por acaso, prefiro este ao rosa.
Yeah. Too much ping on the last
Yes,
show. So
too much pink.
yeah, for me it was a pink overdose. So I'm all
So
over.
no pink today.
So no pink. No. Oh, thank God, no.
Então pronto, vamos então mudar completamente para inglês.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, then guys. So you know who we're going to have today. I hope you're excited. I certainly am.
I'm too.
So do you want to put on the video?
We're going to put a little introduce for our guest. I hope you like it, and we'll be right back with our guest. Okay, so let's go. We are back, everybody. Sorry for my little mistake at the beginning of the video. It was without sound, so sorry about that. Welcome.
And we have with us Martina. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello. Well, thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you here. So, okay.
Yeah. It's been a while since we had the invite, but we're finally here, guys.
Yeah.
So I already asked before, but is your weekend going well?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm working, but other than that, it's going well.
Okay, and I hope we'll be able to hurry up with the stream, but we do have a couple questions here for you to answer
Sure.
today.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just get started.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So, Polygon, how did you find out about World of Cosplay and what made you try it?
Initially, I saw some people dress up at the first convention I went to. That was like maybe 6-7 years ago. So I just attended the convention, and then I saw like everybody's wearing costumes, and it looked like so much fun. And I didn't really think it was something for me. I didn't like immediately try it out. And instead, a couple years later, I had to have a costume for a Halloween party. So I was kind of forced to wear something finally. But I didn't.
Forced.
Well, more like, okay, if I don't dress up here, it's gonna be so boring. So let me find something. And I didn't really find anything in the shops because everything looked like plastic and not so cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of made something in 2 or 3 days. I just threw together, a paper craft cosplay more or less. I didn't know if this was gonna work. I only knew that, I can 3D model. So I thought maybe I can model something and then print it on paper and fold it and wear it. And for some reason it worked. And I wore this thing at the party, but I was like super hooked into making these polygon cosplays because it was just so much fun to do. And I was still surprised that it's something that can be done. Because yeah, I've never seen it, and afterwards, like after trying, I was like, yep, gonna do this again.
Yeah, because I guess in the end, people tend to. So you have the game graphics, and people, of course, doing the realistic stuff then would automatically mean that it has better quality visually. But you're kind of going the other direction. You're grabbing actually the original stuff, how it was, like the polygons, and just really making your costumes like that. Just
Yeah, I don't want them to look realistic. I want them to look shaded, so I don't do all of the weathering and shading and texturing, which is terrible in general. if you like don't do all of that.
Yeah, it's still a lot of extra steps.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a lot of time, but not doing these 3 things is like a no-go in general, but I'm like, nah, whatever. I want it to look digital, so I don't do all the extras. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the end, you end up really looking like the character just came out of the game with the same graphics, and it's now in our world. Like,
Nice. Yeah, that's exactly the idea.
Nice. Okay, I'm just doing some changes because Iris is with the name of Ruben, so I don't know why. That's a huge mistake
where
of
did
me.
I leave my
yeah,
beard?
yeah,
My
your
beard.
cute beard. So what?
I actually have some mustaches somewhere. I need to find them.
Nice. Okay. You can do the next question, Iris. So I can do this. Sorry about that.
You're forgiven.
Oh, thank you so much. So kind of you. Okay. Let's see.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Do it.
So, with all of this, then what ended up being your first cosplay?
So the thing I just described was just a 3-day project, so I don't really count it. But my first cosplay after that was Master Chief from Halo.
Oh yeah.
I made it completely out of paper as well, which is not a good idea. Like, don't do that. It's not very stable. But
so
yeah,
how did you put it together in the end? Because it's paper and tape or
tape.
glue?
Yeah. Just tape and paper, and it's still alive. Surprisingly, I've worn it to a couple of conventions. But yeah, you have to be super careful. Like, don't touch me.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like how does that work in the practical terms? Because it's like, okay, you need to sit. Do you sit?
No, you don't sit.
How do you go to the toilet? How do you wash your hands without wetting the paper?
Well, that kind of works. Just take off the gloves and be like super careful. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's very lightweight, so that's nice.
Yeah. And probably not as warm as normal costumes with foam and more.
No, it's really handy in that regard. But you have to not go outside when it rains and all that. So
I'm showing right now some pictures of your costume of Elo. It's amazing.
It still looks so good. Like it's only paper, but
yeah,
it looks so good.
That's the thing.
Well, except the visor, of course. It's a mirror vinyl, so you can see out but not in. That's really handy as well.
Nice.
Yeah, vision is great. You see pretty much all of it.
How did you paint the paper then? Like just spray or?
Oh no, I just bought green and black and gray paper and just cut those out, and that was it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think if you add paint, it will change the texture.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wanted it to look like paper, so I just bought colored paper.
Really awesome.
Yeah, it still must be so striking looking at it in real person. Like I can imagine just people coming up to you.
I hope
that looks really cool. I'm starting to grab it like
no. Some people do ask like, can I touch it? I'm like, yeah, sure. They go like, that's cute. So yeah.
Can still not believe it is paper. So
you need proof.
I don't have it right next to me, but
no problem. Just it's amazing.
Thanks. It really is. You can go like boop and it wobbles like very, very soft. Sorry, I filled some styrofoam into the backpack and into the shoulder blades as well because they would just squash. So yeah, there's some styrofoam in there.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, no, just some tape and paper.
Awesome.
So an unrelated question: where do you live? In what country?
I'm from Switzerland.
So
in Europe.
So there's a chance we might be able to see you in the costume someday.
Yeah.
Because what I'm thinking is it's much easier for us to eventually be together in Europe than if you were in the United States to be like you have to come here.
Definitely
go there.
Yeah, it's not that far.
This is just coming to my mind. Are you thinking about going to Gamescom eventually?
Gamescom?
Yeah.
I was there a few times. So it's cool. Mostly as a game dev though, so I only brought the cosplay ones. But yeah, it would definitely be cool. Just not this one because it's way too fragile.
Too much.
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe I'll find you someday over there. I have friends asking me, Iris, do you want to go Gamescom again? Like, I'm waiting for a specific game to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really interesting. Now, tell us, how many cosplays have you done so far, and which one is your favorite?
So I made 4 cosplays, and my favorite is probably always the latest one, just because
Yeah, just.
So in this case, that would be Taito the Swift from Gigantic, which is also a game. Or it was a game. It's not live anymore, unfortunately. But it has like super cool character designs. So I thought let's build it. Yeah, that's probably my favorite right now.
I really loved how you kind of pushed yourself even more on that one, having the bird move and everything. Like I think it was you had like a video showcasing the full costume and all the details. I was just like, Oh my god! She even got better at this. Like how? And it's just and then at the middle of the video, I'm like, wait, the eyes changed.
Yeah.
What?
That was the most amazing thing on the costume, because the eyes blink, the eyes change. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, again, it just really looks like you've just come out of the game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to make, and it also took forever. So
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh god.
yeah.
I'm going to see if I can.
Just out of curiosity, how long did it take?
The title took almost 2 years. Yeah, like a really long time, because I wanted to make, you know, the character has a lot of fabric and leather, and to make this look polygonal as well, I had to develop a technique to make this work, to make it flexible. And I didn't really find much resources online, so I just went and bought fabric and glue and you know, put together stuff until it kind of worked. So it was a lot of trial and error,
a lot of research
and research. Yeah, and after, I don't know, maybe half a year or more, I maybe had a technique that works, but I didn't really know until I tried something a bit bigger. So I started with the pants, like the trousers, and made one half of it, and it ended up working. So I was like, okay, nice. I can actually build the thing now. Yeah.
So you didn't really have so wait, how can I explain this? You weren't doing it for a con in specific. You were just really like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and once I finish, and we'll see.
Yeah. The only costume I had a deadline on was Anubis, because I submitted it to a con in Switzerland and I got in and was like, oh god, now I have to finish it. Yeah, that was a lot of work too. But other than that, I usually just build until I'm done, and then I bring it to cons.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a bit more chill like that.
We're going to show a little video, so let's see if it works. Okay. I really love this cosplay. So cute.
Oh yeah, I made a little puppet. It was also fun to figure out. But at least there's tutorials online. So it was a little easier.
My god.
This is like, it's like details, because sometimes if you're just showing the whole costume, you just don't notice.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of small. It's like this big.
And his eyes are so big.
Yeah, that one's a mechanical thing. I can steer by hand. And the other eyes.
No, so continue. Sorry.
Yeah, and the eyes on the mask are obviously, they're digital, so they're screens displaying stuff, and the puppet I can hand control. Yeah, my hand just barely fits. It's like really tiny, this entire thing. So like.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was robotics in the end or mechanical.
No, I wanted very organic movements. So if you do cheap robotics, which I would do because I have no idea about it, it would look very, I don't know, like a robot, you know. And so I figured I might as well do it by hand and try to get this mouse-like movements in there. Yeah. But it's a challenge, but it's fun.
It's quite a challenge. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, because you're also supposed to act yourself as the character, and then you have this thing. You're like, oh, well, what am I doing?
Yeah, you're supposed to do now. Yeah. Really awesome.
Like these videos remind me of like design stuff where people are like trying to design the future club, etc. It's like you're already there. You're already making trousers and all that.
But honestly, this could not be like done in mass production because
Mhm.
you cut every triangle by hand and then you sand it and then you clean it and then you wrap it and heat seal and glue it on fabric and stitch the fabric together. So it takes ages.
Yeah, it still has a lot of
I'm sure
steps
right
there.
now some of the work you have with triangles, this is too much triangles. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Too much.
It's too many. It's way too
Do,
many.
do you
But
have
if you
a-
make
yeah.
big triangles, you cannot move in them. So you
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
make
sure.
them small.
Small.
Yeah, that's the problem there.
When I showed here the when you stitch it, all the triangles when they're ready, this is very maneuverable, so you can move. Yeah. Oh my god. When I see this, I think, oh my god, it's too much.
Yep, I agree. But it's also very relaxing. I usually listen to audiobooks or podcasts or music or something like that, and I just hang out and do my triangle stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't really mind.
Nice. Okay, let's see.
Do you want to ask the fourth question then?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. How do you choose the characters do you want to cosplay?
Would you want the short answer or the long answer?
Maybe the long. We
Yeah.
have time.
Okay. Okay, wait. Short would obviously be just pick a character I love.
Mhm.
Done. Long answer. On top of that, not all designs work well when you put them into low poly.
Mhm.
If you have like very organic shapes and you make them polygonal, they end up looking kind of bad. So
Mhm.
I try to pick a design that I know is going to work well when put into low poly. And then usually I want to learn a new technique when I pick a new cosplay. So it's getting harder every time.
Oh, yeah.
Because last time I wanted to do the fabric stuff and also the animated eyes and the puppetry. And next time I will have to see what else I want to do. So it's always, I'm trying to improve and learn a new technique or material when I pick a cosplay. So I usually take a very long time just to pick because I know, I'll be working on this for a year or two,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, too.
So might as well take my time. Yeah.
Makes sense. I just want to say, Gazaki,
Hello.
she's like one of your fans.
Yeah.
That question will be answered very soon.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. And she's saying, do wings next.
Doing ooh.
Yeah, I know. It would be so cool, but I have no space. Yeah, I already store my cosplays halfway in boxes and stuff like that. So making a huge cosplay is very difficult because I just can't put it anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though I'd love to, big giant stilts and wings and all the stuff. It would be so cool.
So do you want to talk to us a bit more about that? How do you store your cosplays?
Basically just in IKEA boxes. They have these big transparent ones. So I use those. I would love to display them on a mannequin at some point, but the one I have just falls over.
Oh god.
So I don't use that. But maybe at some point when I have more space, I will.
And sorry, this is an even more specific question. So since you do everything with polygons, is it easy to flatten out, or do you have to be careful when you're trying to kind of pack it in?
So most parts are solid. If it's a mask or a shoulder piece or something like that, it's not bendable. But the pants, for example, they can be compressed pretty well. The big shoulder piece of Taito less so because there's a lot of structure in there to support the wings and or feathers. So that's just a big chunk, and I fill it with other parts. So it ends up in a Tetris way, but it works. It works for storing in general.
Nice. Okay. I was just showing when you speak about the shoulders. I was just showing a photo about the shoulders of the.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I made the feathers removable so I can store it better and
Oh, yeah.
transport it better. Yeah. So most parts detach into smaller pieces.
So
Let's
you
see.
usually think about how you're gonna store as you're building the cosplay, right?
Yes, yeah, right. Like long before I actually built something, I try to figure out the logistics. Like how do I wear it? How do I store it? Yeah, how could I wear this at a convention? Stuff like that. Yeah. But usually I don't sit, so
Yeah, you just determined, yeah, I'm not gonna sit. So let's just
Genji is the only one I can sit in. But the others are too fragile for that.
Let's see. Okay, get back is what? So
and I think that's a good segue for question number 5.
Yeah. I think. Okay. It's me or it's you? Don't know
It's
what.
you,
It's
you.
me. 5, right? Mm. Are your cosplays uncomfortable? If yes, how do you deal with it? It's a nice combo question right
Exactly.
Okay, let me
Mm.
see.
now.
I'd say they're not as comfy to wear as if you had something made out of fabric, just because it's armor. But usually they are pretty comfy, like especially Taito, which looks massive and everything with the wings. It's super comfy to wear because I have these pants, they're flexible, and the massive piece on top is very well padded, so I don't really feel it. And I mean, obviously, I can't like, if there are many people around me, I probably need someone to have a move out of the way because I only see this much in most costumes. So I'm very limited.
You look just straight, right? You know?
Yeah, more or less like a horse with these things
Oh,
on
God.
the side. So I'm like, whoop. So I don't know. It's comfortable, but not very well with visibility, I guess. But I've never felt super discomforted or something. So, oh yeah, actually, no. My shoes in my Master Chief cosplay, they are very uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
I bought the cheapest gardening shoes I could find, and they, yeah, was a bad idea. Never do that again.
I can show here a video that you have. You can see how comfortable you can be with I missed the trousers. Yeah.
Trousers?
Yeah, the trousers of the last cosplay that you did. That looks amazing comfortable.
Oh.
And you can move all the way.
Yeah, and
This
you're
is amazing.
sitting as well.
Yeah.
Before I wear the wigs, yes.
Yeah. Before you wear the wings, yeah.
After I put them on, yeah, maybe on a bar stool, maybe that works. But yeah, the wings are in the way.
Yeah.
Do you usually get someone helping you on when you're at cons in cosplay?
Yeah, when I'm walking around, yes. But to put it on and take it off, I can do that on my own. I always plan for that because I don't want to bug people all the time. Can you help me? Yeah. So I try to build it as, as comfily as I can so I can put stuff on and take it off.
Yeah, I'm showing you putting the cosplay on.
Oh, yeah.
So if you need to eat something, it's also quite easy for you to just remove whatever is in the way, just help yourself.
Yeah, either the entire helmet or sometimes I have like a visor I can take off. So that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, so when you're wearing this costume, so your hand, you have the sword on one hand, and what are you doing with the other hand? Is it like always like this because of the puppet?
Depends. If I want to puppeteer, yes, but I can also take the hand out and just, sort of tuck it behind my back
Oh.
or
okay.
leave it hanging at the side because it's white. It's not very well visible
Okay.
Mhm.
at all. Yeah, but I don't keep it up for hours because
Oh,
I guess
so-
my arm would fall asleep.
Exactly, that's something like, well,
Hmm.
this must not be very comfortable.
Yeah, I usually do like 5 minutes and then I'm like, okay. And after
It's-
5 minutes, I start again. Something
yeah.
like that. Mm.
Give some rest to the
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, people, we're going to have a little break, okay?
Yes.
So we'll be right back. So see you.
Yeah. See you soon,
See you.
guys.
Bye.
We're back again. Polygon didn't run away, so that's
Oh,
awesome.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still here. She's still here,
Yeah.
guys. Ah,
So, Iris, I think we have some questions on the chat, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
So, yes, okay, there's some questions that I think it's best if we save for some of the questions we're going to ask, because it's kind of specifically about that, or, you know, you'll understand everything very soon. But so Gazak was saying, I love the color so much, that shimmery green blue color. I think it's teal. It's the teal trousers she was talking about.
Mhm.
And she was asking, what is it like to rise to fame so fast?
I don't know.
That's a really tricky question.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
But yeah, like for me, what I remember is I saw your Anubis cosplay, and that was the first time I saw your work, and then suddenly it's like, wow, where has she come from? Like, she
Yeah.
is amazing. So tell us what how did that feel when it happened?
So I started cosplaying in 2016, I think.
Mhm.
And I just always have and always will just, I built my stuff in my room for a year or two and then I post it when it's done. I also post work in progress, but I just enjoy crafting, and apparently people seem to enjoy what I do as well. So that's really cool, but I don't do it for the, what was it called? Fame.
Fame, yeah.
I do it because I love crafting, and that's it. So I don't really know like what it's like to rise to fame or anything. I'm just doing my thing and I'm good. I don't know. Does that answer your question?
I guess she was trying to understand, just like, well, maybe you didn't really notice that difference. Maybe that was more about that. Because I guess what she's trying to get is, maybe you had just a few followers and then suddenly you have all these thousands and thousands of followers coming out of nowhere, and like, what's how's the jump, how's getting used to this new affluence of people and comments and everyone wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, that okay, I see what you mean. That was just pretty crazy because I'm like posting my stuff and all of a sudden boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was trying to get to.
Yeah. Kind of strange, honestly, because I'm still the same person. I'm just doing my stuff, and all of a sudden, everybody seems to be wanting to say something about it. I don't know. Please do. I don't mind.
I think because sorry, continue.
No, you go. I'm just rambling here.
Okay, I was just saying because I think you have a lot of fame now. I think because your style is, I think it's unique, because doing this kind of cosplay, I think I don't know which words I can say, because I think I didn't see anything like this ever. So
Yeah.
I think because
except if it was like a joke on the
yeah,
watercraft.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because it's that, because pick a character and put a 3D or a 2D reality and put on real world, I can say. I think it's unique. Your work is that. I think this is the way you show, and the people like it, and that's why you have a lot of fame now. So I think it's
Yeah, I guess. To me it's so normal because I've been doing it for so long.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's a Polygon cosplay. But yeah, you're right, nobody else does it because they're not crazy.
Probably.
No, seriously, like it really does take a lot of time and planning, and you got to work very carefully, else you mess it up and have to redo it again and stuff like that. So there's a lots of hurdles to make a costume like that. So I do understand why nobody else is doing it. But yeah, I'm really just doing it for the crafting because I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. Kazaki was asking, is it overwhelming sometimes, the amount of attention?
Yeah, it can be. But then I just kind of turn my phone off and I'm good.
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
I sent you the message about like just saying, look, I'm the one taking care of the questions this time, and I'm like, I hope she responds.
Yeah, I sometimes get, usually it comes like in waves, so I don't hear anything and then I get like 20 messages. I'm like, oh God, I have no time for this.
Oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, I try always to be polite and keep it short so we don't waste each other's time. But yeah, it's kind of, it's not my job, so I can't just spend hours and hours on social media doing whatever. So I try to keep it brief if I can. But yeah, that's definitely a challenge too, because I do want to get back to people because they are taking their time to write me, which is super cute. So I'm trying to be kind in return, but also my time is sort of limited. So yeah, it's kind of hard, hard to do.
Yeah, people should understand though, like, because like you're saying, like no one should spend the whole day on social media.
Well, maybe if it's your job, then that's all right. But it's not mine, so I can't.
But if it is your job, you're not gonna send messages to cosplayers. You know, that's kind of more like that.
Yeah.
And she's asking, do you ever get negative attention or negative comments sometimes?
Very rarely, actually. I don't know why. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't happen. I can't really tell you why that is. I don't know. I'm just glad people are nice.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's like
That's
perfect.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, please stay nice.
Please stay nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying turning off is an easy solution, and limiting your time on social media is very healthy. Yeah, indeed.
Easy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if you work in social media.
Yeah.
Imagine, I'm stopping working now. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to social media again.
Oh no.
Oh God. Oh. But yeah, very good questions, by the way, Gazaki.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's see. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this chance to now do one of mine.
Yeah.
Which is, what is your favorite part about cosplaying, and what do you like the least? So it's kind of like
the ups and downs.
Okay, one of the favorites I already mentioned, just the pure crafting of it. I also really love when I'm at a convention. Well, not last year, but you know.
Yeah.
When I'm at
Before
convention.
the pandemic.
Yeah, before all of that. I'm at the convention and I meet another cosplayer and we just nerd out about how we did things and how cool it is and everything. That's just so cool. Like seeing people enjoying their hobby as much as I do. That I really love that. Yeah. And like on the negative side, probably when people are being toxic or dramatic about nothing in particular, you know, usual kind of drama stuff. I don't want that. I don't need it. So I don't like it. But it doesn't happen all that often. So I'm good.
Fortunately, the people who like to complain about not using the right color or something haven't gotten to you yet then.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, just let people enjoy their hobby and
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Are you on TikTok by any chance?
Nope. No.
That's probably why. Apparently they're big on, you know, if you didn't use the right color.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just remembering last year. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Exactly. Like, okay. I didn't know it was such a big deal.
Whatever. Like the main reason I'm not there because I don't want to handle another social media platform. That's the only reason. But yeah, if people are being so picky, then I'm glad I'm not there.
So right now you have Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. And I share the same stuff on both platforms, so people can follow me on either. Yeah, but I don't want like 5 or 10 accounts
Oh
because
my god.
then it's just work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
And at least you're kind of posting the same content to each one. Like, I guess people sometimes are like, you should cater your content and do different posts because
I don't care.
different things. Like,
Hell
that
no.
would work.
I don't have the time for this. Like,
Exactly.
seriously, I make my progress posts and then you can look at them or you can't. I don't mind. It's more of a diary, like what did I do and
Today, yeah.
when and why did I do it, and I write that down and I post it so I can look it up later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but no, I don't care about numbers and audience gaining and what's the stuff called. I'm not a social media person. I just want to post my cosplay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, Yazaki, it's now. It's now. We're gonna
It's
talk
now.
about what we're asking
Now.
about.
It's now. Wait. It's now.
So Nunu 7.
Okay, let's do it. Are you a full-time cosplayer or do you have another job?
I do have another job, so I don't cosplay as a job. It's just my hobby, and that's also why I can't just spend infinite amounts of time on on social media and all that. So yeah, I'm a game artist as a job. I make games and art for it. So yeah, I'm busy doing that all day.
So you do the aspect of actually drawing and the 3D modeling as well. Is that it?
Yeah. So my main focus is animation. So I animate characters. I also rig characters usually. So this like the stage before you can actually move the characters, you have to give it a skeleton, so to speak. So that's what I make. I make rigs for characters so I can animate them later.
Okay.
And sometimes I do design work as well. So like a character design or a environment design, I draw it. And I also do lots of 3D models. So either for background things or also I make characters or creatures, stuff like that. So it's very diverse. I'd say I'm not in just one field. I'm doing a bit of all of the art stuff because I work in small teams and usually you get to do lots of different things there. Yeah.
As a showing some clips of your page of your game art and animation so people can see.
Oh, that's very old. Oh my god. I'm updating my animation stuff right now because this is from 2016.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is just so people can have an idea of what you actually do in your day job as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love creature animation the most. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Let's see.
But also just working on games, like we usually make the game concepts together. So we develop the idea and figure out the mechanics. And I also take part in that, which is super cool. So you get to do a bit of everything.
So everyone ends up having its own areas inputs. It's like, okay, you have the art and 3D model input and you have the other areas as well. Okay, but we cannot do this because it's hard for me or
so usually the programmers will tell you if something's like very hard to do, so you try to find a different solution together. Yeah, this is the game that's going to release soon, hopefully, that we're working on. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, it's always just a collaborative thing where you try to figure out how can we do this. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's really interesting. I love how it's kind of connected to what you do in cosplay as well, because basically polygons are a big part of your life.
Yeah.
They are.
So can you walk us through your creative process? So let's say okay, you have decided you want to do this character. So where do you go from there? Which programs do you use? Materials? Where do you get them? Etc. Etc.
So after I picked my cosplay, I usually start with planning. Like okay, like I said, like how am I going to wear this? How can I put it on? Where do I see out? All that kind of stuff. And then I usually make patterns. And the way I make them is I use 3D software and kind of model everything from scratch. So I basically model the entire character in Blender, which is a free 3D tool. And when the model is done, it's called unwrapping. I unwrap it or just, cut it open so I can lay it out flat and then print that on paper. So this, then I cut out the paper pieces, put them back together, and then you have a full body paper prototype, so to speak. Just to see if it fits me, like, do I need more space for the head? How can I bend my arm? All that sort of stuff. You see that immediately when you build this cheap paper thing, just to know, okay, this works, or I have to adjust the model and re-export the patterns. So yeah, that's very iterative. You just do it a couple of times until everything works. And then I start building with the actual materials when I'm satisfied with the patterns. Yeah.
You can show. I'm showing the paper model that you have of the last cosplay.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly. This is how I tested.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was actually wondering if you had a model of your body just so you could have the right proportions from the start.
Yeah, I didn't at the beginning. I just downloaded a free human character, which is totally not me in proportions. So at some point I got a Kinect from the Xbox 360. It's a very old one. I got that from somebody, and you can plug that into your computer and then make a scan of yourself. I mean, nowadays you can use an iPhone, I guess.
Yeah,
they're much better.
That's true.
But yeah, like 3-4 years ago, I made a scan like that, which is very not very precise, but it's better than nothing. And so since then I use that as a base, so I have something to start from, and I can try to fit the model onto my digital self, more so to speak. So it's a bit easier like that because you already know like how wide is my head and how tall am I and all that stuff. Yeah, that definitely helps.
Do you by any chance use Pepakura when you are opening the patterns?
Yeah, no, you could, but I don't see a reason why, because I can also just unwrap it myself and have the same result. Because I think Pepakura does exactly that. It asks you, hey, where do you want to cut this open? And you don't need the software. You can do this in any 3D package.
So you can do that in Blender as well.
Yeah. I always unwrap it in Blender, and then I got my patterns. Yeah, I don't need another software for that.
Nice.
But I'm sure it's handy. If you don't know 3D modeling or 3D modeling tools, then Pepakura is probably easier because you don't have to learn, everything else about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would depend if you already had your 3D model thing. Like imagine, for example, I have something waiting for me to get on with it, which is like I have the model of the character, but I only want to do the hat. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't know, I'm gonna delete everything else just to get the hat, and then I'm gonna go to Pepakura. But now you're telling me, well, you can actually do it in Blender. So I'm like, well, maybe I can just learn it in Blender because I would have to learn it in Pepakura as well anyway. So
yeah, maybe maybe Pepakura is much better at it, but I just never cared about looking at it because I'm like, what? I could just unwrap it and I'm done.
yeah,
I'm just too lazy. I don't know.
Well, if it works it works. That's
Yeah.
all anyone needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
but it's
yeah,
also
then sorry.
it's easier if you have to practice,
Mhm.
because I learned it in my studies. So if I had to start from scratch, I might probably look at Pepakura.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Gazaki is saying 3D modeling is really hard and overwhelming. I tried to model a complicated mask once and it had so many model errors I couldn't print it.
Oh yeah, actually 3D modeling for 3D printing is another topic as well. You have to,
Oh,
yeah, there's a couple of rules you have to, like you cannot have any holes in the mesh for overlapping faces, or you gotta work very cleanly to keep it simple. So yeah, if you don't know how to model, and then you have to kind of learn modeling and modeling for 3D printing at the same time, which is very much like it's a lot of stuff in at once. So I'd recommend starting with very basic modeling, and once you're comfortable with that, you can look up, okay, what do I have to do in order to make models for 3D printers? Because like I said, there's a little bit of extra stuff you have to keep in mind. Yeah. But yeah, it does take some time. It's like any other skill. If you've never done woodworking before, the first thing is probably gonna be super hard, and then you get better with practice. Yeah.
that makes sense. So let's say so you've made the model, you've printed it, you've checked the measurements on yourself, and now you're moving to materials. Can you kind of walk us through your evolution in materials? So you started with paper. What did you try after that?
My next cosplay was Genji. There I picked cardstock, or like very thick paper, and reinforced the inside with epoxy and fiberglass.
Oh,
Which is kind of an old school way of doing it, I think. And it worked, but I also didn't like it very much because it's very messy. You have to work outside and wear protection and everything else. So I tried it, it worked. I'm never gonna do it again. That was that. I also used a little bit of EVA foam for the first time, but not like just very basic stuff. I just cut out all the pieces that needed to be flexible. I cut out of EVA foam. The rest was hard and reinforced cardstock. Yeah, and I also spray painted the surface, which also, yeah, it ended up fine, but not my favorites. Not my favorite way of finishing things. So yeah, that was that. The
yeah.
next, sorry.
Sorry, it's just looking at your photos. It looks like it still looks like spotless, not of the game. Like because I guess because of its the shininess that it has to it.
And the LEDs, it's all right on top. They're really good.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Genji has a ton of LEDs.
LEDs, yeah.
My God, yeah.
Let's see if
I don't know how many hundred things I put in there, but yeah, that's like one entire circuit that goes throughout the entire suit. It's very long. Yeah, I learned that on the project as well. That's right.
Was it easy for you, or did you struggle with the LEDs?
Let me think. I think I asked my partner a couple of things regarding voltage and all that stuff. Like how do you calculate whatever? So I had some help there, but like the soldering went kind of okay from the beginning. I think I did some mistakes, but I learned how to solder more or less properly just by watching tutorials. Yeah, so that was fine. Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm showing just a little clip about your
Mhm,
cosplay.
mhm.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites to wear because you're very free and flexible in it. You can do all kinds of stuff. Like Anubis is a little bit more restrictive because it has so many giant pieces. And with Genji, you can sit and you can eat and you can
No,
do everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love it.
So this is also a costume that's gonna last like 2 decades with the materials you did it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
Probably EVA foam is the part that's going to die first
mhm,
because it's
mhm.
less durable, but still it's holding up all right. Yeah. Yeah, that was like what I learned with Genji, and then I moved on to Anubis.
Oh my god, Anubis is
And for
awesome.
yeah, for that I used mostly it's called Sintra or like foamed PVC.
Mhm.
Those 2 to 3 millimeter sheets that you can just cut by hand. So yeah, I cut all the pieces by hand and put them together with super glue, like not all stick. You have to do a little bit of testing which ones work.
Mhm.
And then to get the neat surface, I wrap everything in car vinyl so it looks shiny and clean.
So did you just cut each piece
Yeah.
by itself and glued it, or is like, you know, have a sheet and you kind of just wrap it around?
No, that doesn't work because when you bend it, it's going to have a bit of a round curve right where the bend is, and that's going to look wrong. So yeah, every surface you see is hand cut and then reassembled. It's kind of a puzzle. Very confusing if you don't
a
number.
3D puzzle in
Yeah.
real life.
And you got no labels.
Oh god, that's the worst.
Oh no.
I always have my 3D model open right next to it so I can check for reference.
Oh my god, it must be like, is there any at any time you have so many pieces around you and you're kind of lost, like, wait, where did this one belong to?
Not really. I have a kind of a method where the way I unwrap pieces, how should I explain that? It makes sense to me. I try to unwrap in a way that when I think I'm gonna put this back together, it makes sense in a way. You know what I mean? and,
Yeah, yeah,
and like when I cut the pieces, I keep the paper templates on top. So I see this belongs right next to this, that, and I kind of label them by hand more or less. So I do have a method. It's not super professional, but it totally works.
When I
I don't know, is that a professional method?
yeah. When I see your model in only paper of the Anubis, I think it is. Oh my god, this is too many pieces.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
it
my.
really was a lot of work.
Oh.
I had to, when you look at the nose, the face, I reduced the polygon stair a bit after the test because I realized, man, I'm never gonna finish. So I removed some planes and some angles there. Yeah. But other than that, it's a lot of cutting and also sanding or like carving, so to speak, because when you have to glue two pieces together like that, you didn't cut off enough on the inside, you have to carve it off afterwards, which is super annoying. And you have to do it all the time. Yeah. So that's a lot of mess in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is how you do
Yeah.
the models.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really, really awesome. Oh my god.
this is a real, like, this is gold. Like, I'm literally like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, right.
It just seems so much easier because you have all the views.
Yeah, if I have reference, I will totally slap that into Blender just so I see what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't, so I just try to guess it, but then it takes much longer. Yeah. And this approach is called box modeling, because you start with a box and then you cut it open and drag pieces around. You could also sculpt the whole thing and then retopologize it, but that's not my workflow for that. I think just modeling with very simple planes and shapes makes most sense in that case.
Too much work. Oh my god.
Well, actually, to be honest, making the model is the fastest part,
Oh.
because you could just undo and redo
Do-
and blah blah and
Yeah.
da da da, and then
Control V, Control C. Yeah,
Yeah,
all
we're
the time.
getting there. We're getting
That's
there.
the easy part.
it really is the easy part. And then you have the patterns, and then you have to build the entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no different than any other cosplay, right? We start with the patterns, and then you build the thing.
So, tell me about this image. This is the all connections and the polygons you have on the Anubis, right?
Oh my god. What is that?
I know it delays. He's watching.
Yeah, it's loading
Yeah.
from my
Sorry.
side. I still see the video, but I can guess which one you mean. The one with the lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's-
god.
Yeah. You don't really work in that mode because it's
Okay.
confusing. You don't
Yeah.
see what's in front and what's at the back.
Yeah.
So usually I work with the gray shading, so everything
Okay.
is kind of
Oh.
neat. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and like most pieces for Anubis, they were, like I said, Sintra pieces wrapped in vinyl,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the heart, the centerpiece is resin. So I had to learn how to cast resin, and took a few tries as usual. Yeah, but I think that were the main materials, and some EVA foam for padding, everywhere, raising the shoulders and stuff like that. Yeah.
I remember seeing the post about the heart and about like your first try and how it ended up, and I was just thinking like, how?
Yeah, trial and error.
I struggle with resin as well, so I was like, wow, how did you get
Yeah.
from
I'm
that to that?
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. So translucent and so clean. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Again,
had
it
to-
looks like it came out of the model or the game. It's like
Yeah.
so pretty.
Thanks. Yeah, I had to. Maybe I should have picked different resin, but I had no idea. So I ended up casting it in layers, so they don't start bubbling and all that. But yeah, I think it took me 4 tries with that.
Awesome.
And even this one, if you cast it by layers, it must have taken quite a few days, weeks.
I think it was 11 layers, so 11 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was fine. At least it ended up good.
Really good.
So, isn't it like now I'm thinking resin is actually a bit heavier than what we think. So how did you manage to stuck it in place? And isn't it too heavy?
Not really, no. The structure around it is pretty solid because of the other armor pieces. So in the end, I could just glue it in and put in the light at the back, and that was good. Never had any problems with it. But yeah, you're right. It's not as lightweight as it looks. Resin does have a bit of weight.
Before we
Yes.
Uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
Before, I'm going to say before going to Kiyosaki next question, we're going to make just a little break again. Sorry. So we'll be right back. People, if you want to ask anything, just ask, okay? So let's do a break and we'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
See you soon.
See you soon.
guys.
Yep.
So we are back again, and Polygon didn't run away again. So this is awesome. It's a great thing.
Yeah,
So,
we're still good. We're still good.
so it is what you're saying about Miyazaki. It's saying something on the chat, right?
Yes, she was asking,
Mhm.
do you ever get overwhelmed with trial and error? Does it ever get frustrating?
Mm.
I mean, for very brief moments, yes, but in general, not really, because I love the process of trying out things. And if it doesn't work, that's kind of normal because, you know, if something doesn't exist yet, you can't just expect to get it done in one try. So I just, you know, do something and already think about what I can try next because what I'm doing is probably not going to work anyways. So it's kind of the mindset of if it works, holy yeah, that's cool. But if it doesn't, that's totally normal. So I don't really get angry or anything.
Yeah, that's a good mindset.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, yeah, it's not super optimistic, but it's just how it is when you do experiments. They probably don't work. Yeah. So I'm pretty good with that. The only thing that sucks is when I make something and then I screw up somewhere and I have to redo it. That's not fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, pretty good.
Well, it's just part of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, it's unfortunately it's just part of cosplay. Things mostly never come out good at first try.
No, they don't. And also, it wouldn't be as much fun. You know, if everything you do just works, then you get so used to it. Like, why even do it? Then I could
It's
just,
true.
I don't know, I could just do something where I just have to click a button and then it assembles. Might as well do that. I don't know. I really like the part where you screw up and then you have to figure out the different solution. And yeah. I mean, everybody who cosplays knows this.
Knows that, yeah.
Yeah. Should know that. I'm sorry, should know that.
should.
But yeah, and she's also asking, have you stopped to consider how much a full Anubis costume would cost? Planning, materials, work hours,
Ooh.
I'm curious.
Like if I were to make it for somebody else or just in
Probably.
Well, she didn't specify that. She's just
Yeah.
saying
Okay.
she's curious about how much it would cost. Planning, materials, work hours.
Okay. So planning is I'm gonna put planning into work hours because it's part of it. Materials, so Sintra isn't all that expensive, at least not in Switzerland where everything is expensive. Sintra isn't the most expensive thing, so I think it's cheaper than EVA foam. So you can calculate that. I haven't really done the numbers. And then the car vinyl I got was pretty cheap as well. Just something off Amazon. Maybe I paid $15 for the entire roll of gold. So that was pretty fine. The resin was kind of expensive because I screwed up so much. I had to rebuy resin. So that was probably the most expensive part. And then the electronics for the eyes and for the heart, you know, the pulsing lights. I had to get a microcontroller and some addressable LEDs, but those don't cost the world as well, depending on what you get. Yeah, I can't really put a number to it, but it's probably normal cosplay budget, so to speak. Yeah, but like, yeah, work hours. I work for free for myself, so I don't care, but Anubis took 1,000 hours to make. And, you know, if I were asking for a Swiss salary for that, it would just be literally unpayable. So I don't do commissions. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, you still need to do your own cosplays. Where would you find time to do commissions?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No chance. Yeah. Maybe, you know, if at some point somebody tells me to make something small like a mask or so, and it's a really cool customer and stuff like that, I might consider it. But in general, I don't think I can
have time.
I can't, yeah, I don't have time, and I cannot give out fair pricing because nobody has the same standard as we do in Switzerland. You know, rent is so expensive, and food and insurance. So I would have to price it very high in order to make it even worth it for me. And in international standards, that's just no, way too expensive.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So like, if I wanted to be a full-time prop maker, I could probably not make a living here, even if I worked my butt off and stuff. I just couldn't demand the prices I'd need. So yeah, that's a no-go for me.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's you. Yeah, just joking around with you now. Do it. Continue.
Yeah, I was just going to try to go back a bit. So we're talking about your creative process and how you so you started with paper, then you went for the Sintra stuff, right? And now on the newbies you used, was it, sorry,
that's Sintra. Yeah.
Okay.
For Genji, I used the fiberglass and resin stuff, and for Anubis, the Sintra sheets mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did anything change from, like, in terms of materials, and of course except the extras from the Anubis to the Titus one?
Yeah. So for a bunch of pieces, I still use Sintra, like the mask and the little shoulder armor thing. That's still Sintra, but most of Taito is polystyrene, which is basically a thin, rather hard plastic. So Sintra is a bit, if you scratch it, it will have a dent, and polystyrene is just, it's solid. But since I used thin sheets, I could also cut them. But this one is a bit more difficult to work with, but it's more durable. So yeah, that is mostly the main material for Taito is polystyrene, and I also wrapped it in vinyl. So like the teal color you mentioned, or Chet mentioned, that was just a color shifting vinyl. So it looks, you know, I think blue when you look at it from the front and green from the side. And I just wrapped everything in that, as well as in the shiny gold orange thing. That was a different vinyl. And then all the browns and whites and shades of whatever that it has. Yeah.
So everything is vinyl in the end, even the white?
Yeah.
I was just showing an image with you have the triangles and all the vinyls in your hand to people know that.
Yeah. Here I tried which material I was going to use because I didn't know what would be a good material for making this polygon fabric. So I just tried a whole bunch of things, like how durable is it if I bend it by accident? How well can I cut it by hand? How do I have to sand it? Can I wrap it? Will it stick? How do I glue it? Is it adhesive or not? All that kind of stuff. I just tested with a ton of different materials. Yeah, it's what I usually do before I start a project.
Okay.
Showing that the triangles and all the vinyl. That's a lot of triangles. Oh my god.
All the triangles.
Oh yeah, the image in the top right, that's all the triangles. It's like 1,500 or something like that.
Oh.
No.
That's a few. That's a few. Oh.
And all of them had to be, you know, cut, then sanded, because when you cut them, they get this nasty little edge. So you have to sand it off on all sides. And then you have to clean them, and then wrap them in vinyl. And
oh
then
my god.
use the heat gun to make it adhese.
Yeah.
And then put it together.
Oh,
Just that.
God.
Just
All the
that.
triangles.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's why it took 2 years.
Yeah, probably that. Yeah, I think so.
So, no.
Yeah.
Can you ask 9? Because
sure.
I need to know.
You need to know.
I
Okay.
need to know.
Okay.
Oh, what do you need to know?
This is a nice one. What do you do to stay motivated while you're working on your cosplays?
In general? Or
Yeah.
like from day to day?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really need to be motivated because I like crafting. Let me think. Well, first of all, it's most of the things I do are very relaxing. Like I said, you just sit down and do a bit of crafting and tinkering and figuring out stuff. So that's really nice. And then I know when I'm crafting and I don't need a lot of thinking. I don't need to do a lot of thinking. I can just listen to my favorite books or whatever. So it's like time I can really enjoy and just do things I like. Yeah. And if I get to a nasty part that sucks, I'm like, all right, this is gonna take 3 days or so and I'm gonna hate it, but afterwards I'm done. Or I will have this piece finished, and I've been working on it for months and it only takes this much until it's done, so I might as well do it. I don't know if that's any advice.
Well, I guess it is on the way of how you think, even if you hit a block, how do you kind of trying to get past it? So
yeah, I know that's not necessarily a good thing, but I've already invested so much time into it. And if I stop now, I have this 3/4 finished thing that looks like nothing because, this close to the deadline, or like this close before I'm done, everything looks like garbage. I have a pile of triangles and I have a pile of fabric, and that's it. And it looks like nothing. And only in the very, very last weeks or so, I start putting everything together. And then it starts looking like something, which is, a tiny piece of time compared to the whole development, so to speak. But I know this, so I know that if I just keep going, at some point it will be done. And if I don't keep going, it will never be done. So I might as well just do tiny steps, like one step at a time, and now finish these 10 triangles today and finish the other 20 the other day. It's a very step-by-step thing. I try not to want to finish something in a day or so because I can't. I'm always breaking it down into the very tiniest achievable things, like sand one triangle, and I've sanded one triangle, might as well do the next one.
that's a good one, actually.
My hands are dirty now and everything is a mess, so let's keep going. Yeah, that's kind of, maybe you have to trick yourself a bit into doing stuff sometimes, but most of the things are really enjoyable. So yeah, no big need for motivation there.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'll try to do that in the future.
Just saw one stitch.
Just one.
Just one.
Well, since everything is out, I might as well do a couple more.
Exactly. And then open it again because you screwed it up, and then you do it again. That's what I do all the time.
Oh, God. No, do you want to ask the 11th?
Yeah, sure. What is your dream cosplay?
I have a big list of things I want to make.
Ooh.
Does that count?
Yeah.
It's not one specific thing, more like there are so many cool designs out there that call to be made. And
Give us
I
like
can't
a
really-
top 3.
Yeah, probably. 3.
I can't really pick because there are too many. I most definitely already made one, which is Anubis. That one I wanted.
Yes.
When I saw that, I went like, okay, I have to make this. I have no idea how, but I have to. And after that, the list just grew exponentially. And now I haven't picked my next project yet because I can't decide. Because like I said, I obviously have to love the character, but then I want to learn new techniques and maybe try different materials, and to fit all that into one specific design is not that easy. It's a lot of guesswork and prioritizing and just, yeah, but if I do this, I could learn this new thing, or if I do that, I could learn a different new thing, which I also want to learn. Like, can I combine this? Blah blah. Yeah, I'm a slow picker. But yeah, there's too much good stuff to be done.
Kazaki's asking a couple more things. Okay, I'm not sure. How did you figure out how to make the costume work in real life? Like how the fabric behaves and folds and all.
Regarding fabric, I made a couple of tests by folding paper and trying to figure out like how can I get folds and how can I not get folds, like what shapes work or what shapes don't work. So I just made a couple tests like that. And then when I 3D modeled the fabric pieces, I tried to keep in mind, you know, if there's a fold somewhere at the back of the pants where the knee is or something like that. I tried to incorporate that shape into the pattern. So once you do fold it, it will hopefully do the same in real life. But that was mostly guesswork for the first part because I've never done something like it before. I just figured, you know, when you make a rig, when you have a character you want to animate, you have to consider sort of the same stuff because the polygons will have to collapse and take more space depending on, like, if you move an arm, the polygons around here will have to bend, so to speak. And I tried to translate that into real life, and it sort of worked.
I'm showing right now what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
So the
exactly.
people know.
So I tried to figure out if I want to make a rounded fold, how would I have to bend or place the pieces, and that pretty much translates into, you know, if I had, yeah, like I said, at the back of the knee or where the pants have to collapse, try to model it that way so it's kind of roundish and can compress, so to speak.
Yeah, you end up having to design all the folds or the way they kind of exist. So it's not as simple as it looks. It's not just literally making the model and done. No, you still sometimes you have to go back to apply all those different techniques in polygons so you can have all those effects happen.
Yeah, the first paper prototype I made for the shirt and the pants, it totally didn't work. The triangles were way too big. They were about this size, so I couldn't bend. So the first thing I did was make them smaller, but it still didn't work so well because the shapes didn't flow the way they're supposed to in fabric. So I just kind of iterated that step by step until I got to the end result where there we have like pretty small triangles and also shapes that kind of make sense. Like how would fabric fall, and then try to model that in a way. Yeah, I don't have like a golden recipe for it yet, but it kind of worked out.
She was also asking, do you plan on branching out of the low poly look?
Not really. Well, I don't really plan on much in that regard. I just, as long as I enjoy doing low poly stuff, I will keep doing it. And if at some point I realize, hey, you know what, there's some different art style I could try to bring into real life, then I will totally do that. I don't know. We'll see.
So is cosplay a hobby you see yourself doing in 10 years?
I mean, I guess so. I've been crafting since I was maybe 3. I don't know when you start crafting. And then I didn't do it for many, many years. And then I got back to it like with cosplay. And maybe I want to do cosplay for 5, 6, 7 years, and then we'll pick it up again. I have no idea. I mean, as long as I enjoy it, I will keep doing it. And if I feel like, hey, you know what, I got different priorities now, I will do something else. It's a very hard question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a question we usually do to our guests, but I just decided to ask it because it was just out of nowhere. Really, it's like an interview. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You will get the job depending on this question.
Nice one.
No, seriously, in the end, I will do what makes me happy, and if that's cosplay, that's cosplay. If it's not, it's something else.
Yeah,
so we'll
that's
see.
how it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just saying going with the flow.
Yeah, going
Pretty
with
much.
the flow. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm not obliged to anyone to do my hobbies. It's mine, so I might as well do anything.
So, next, other than cosplaying, do you have other hobbies? Do you have another hobbies?
Yeah. I think I mentioned reading books. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I also did and plan to do again taekwondo, like martial arts. I was like forced to take a break because I have shitty hips, and I had to get surgery to get them fixed. But I hope that now I'll be soon able to pick it up again. So I will see about that. I really hope it's gonna work because I love it.
It will.
Yeah, and yeah, I think those are like the main things. I also play games, obviously. I'm a game dev. I kind of forget to mention it because it's so natural to me. Yeah, games and books and martial arts. That's probably them, and cosplay, obviously. That's the main things.
Do you ever get like, okay, I have to pick between playing games and doing the cosplay?
Yeah, I do. The way I play games nowadays is because I'm a game developer. I usually don't finish games. It's kind of odd. You know, I pick it up and I play for a couple hours, and usually I have seen it afterwards. Like, oh, okay, this is how this works and this is how that works, and and then okay, next. So I don't have to spend the 100 plus hours to finish the game. It's very efficient. I don't know. Now I'm just usually not interested anymore after a certain amount of time, with a few exceptions, obviously. But yeah, I tend to kind of look at all the cool parts, and when I've seen them, I'm like, okay, next.
Okay, now this just popped in my mind. But do you finish your books?
Most of them, yes.
Do you keep buying books before you finish the ones you're reading?
That's a nice question.
That just sounds very similar.
No, actually, funnily enough, with books, if there is very rarely one I don't finish because I feel like, yeah, but maybe it's gonna get better and I'm gonna like it more, and then I'm gonna be, you know, it's very
That's
different.
funny.
Yeah, but I don't work in books, so maybe it's just a different sort of attachment to the medium. So I'm having a very hard time to put the book aside, even though I might not like it. And with games, I'm like, this is awesome. I'm gonna play the next one. Yeah.
So curious.
I know it's weird, but it's just how it works for me.
Okay, Yazaki was saying, I'm glad you don't feel stuck to your current brand. Sometimes people see what works for the algorithm and the fans and stick to it at the expense of what they really love, which is a bit sad, I think.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
mean,
Yeah, sorry. Keep going.
I don't know, algorithms change almost daily, and trying to please a computer program is just, why would you do that? I don't know. But yeah, I see it's appealing because you'll get a lot of exposure and everything. But yeah, I think in the end, people should do what they really like doing, and else it's not really a hobby in my eyes, and it's more like work, and that's less fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to
Chin,
ask
chin,
you.
chin.
So you are in the Ultimate Online Cosplay Championship, right?
I was there, yeah.
Tell us, how was the experience, because it's something online, it's kind of like new to everyone, and yeah, just sorry, just tell us about it, please.
It was so cool. We're gonna start. Okay,
How did
so
you
the way
prepare for it? Because I mean, again, it's online.
So the way I heard about it was last year they made their first edition, and it was all over social media. Like if I opened my Instagram, I saw the new Ultimate Online Cosplay Championship. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. And I saw the contest online, and it was like so good because the niveau was like crazy. Like everybody had absolutely bonkers cosplays to show off. So I was like, man, imagine if I finish title next year, I could submit it. And that's sort of what I did. I in January they announced that they're gonna do a this year's edition. So the second edition. And I was like, okay, totally gonna join there. And I had to finish a bunch of stuff and also, record a video of the full cosplay and make some pictures. So you have to submit a few things as well as behind the scenes content, so they see how you made everything. I ended up making a video, just a making of video, because I already had a ton of making of footage, so I just put it together into a 8-minute thing, which I also uploaded on social media, so you can have a look at it. So that's what I submitted: this video plus a stage walk where they would see your cosplay in action, and some photos. And yeah, like a few days or weeks later, they announced the finalists. I was like, what? I'm in? Okay. Yeah. And then another 2 weeks or so later was the show, which was like so cool. Again, have you seen it? Have you seen the show?
Yeah, a show on the
actually
they sorry, my English is skippy away.
Like when it was live?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watch online live.
Yeah, it was so good. I mean,
Yeah.
holy shit. It was like the craziest contest I've ever seen. I mean, we don't have massive contests in Switzerland, so maybe I'm just not used to it, but everybody's work was so good. Yeah. And they're pretty sure gonna do it again next year, so it's awesome. I really loved the fact that, since it's online, it was international, and literally anybody could join from anywhere. The only
It's true.
rule was, please be nice and don't cheat. The rules are here in this is the rule set. So that was all, and you could just join from anywhere, and the judges were so nice, and everybody was really kind. And if you had questions, there was a Discord server, and it's still active, so everybody keeps posting work in progress and cosplay stuff and whatever, and pets and food pictures. Yeah.
We all need food pictures.
Yeah, it's a really cool community that grew out of this one single contest last year, and now it's like boom. So yeah, it's really awesome. I love it.
That's really good to hear. I need to check it out, actually. I haven't really had time to have a look.
Yeah, there are two
really
shows
awesome.
like last
Yeah.
year's and this year's.
By the way, last year, not this one, last year, Portuguese cosplayer. This is our friend Angelica Alfic.
Oh, yeah.
participate on that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Were they in the finals?
Don't remember
Like,
now.
were they seen on stage? The stage, virtual stage?
See, you was see on the show. Yeah,
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
was really awesome.
Yep.
Can you just like tell us? So you did win, right? Like,
Oh
'cause
yeah, I forgot to mention that.
yeah, like just by the way, you did win, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this
How-
year's edition.
How did
Yeah.
that feel? I mean, in the middle of
Yeah.
so many awesome people, you won.
Yeah, that was nuts because there were so many awesome people. I was like, okay, I'm a finalist. I can die happily now. And then at the day of the show, I'm like, what? Me?
I'm showing right now when you nominated best in the show on the
okay.
stream. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
awesome.
dude, that was.
When
I
I
was
saw
like,
you are the winner, and I said, yes, yeah, awesome.
yeah, I was, locked down and everything. I was sitting at home with the laptop on my couch and just like yeah, it was really exciting and scary and fun and awesome at the same time.
when I the curious thing I like about the judges was they're all them was mind blowing the way did you did the stuff of your cosplay.
Ah, I thought that, yeah, no, the judges are mind blowing.
Yeah, tip.
I mean,
what?
Yeah.
What?
No, the judges, like the work they do, I love the judges' work, and then they come back to you and tell you the same. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so nice. Yeah,
By
they're
the
all really cool people.
Yeah. By the way, we have one of the judges was our guest, Evil Ted, was one of our guests on the show. And when we post you as a guest, he answered. Let me see if I can find. He wait. Let's see. He, oh wait. Okay.
Oh, Evil Ted's great. Everybody's great.
Yeah.
Like all these people, they're just awesome.
Oh wait, that okay. Yeah.
I just love the
Evil said
video.
great choice of a guest for.
No.
Yeah. It's really awesome. Yeah.
I love how you showed the progress with all these videos
mhm.
and just put them together.
Yeah, I could have also, they told you can write or whatever, but I thought I might as well make a video if I have all the footage. And I was just too lazy to sort through all my work in progress pictures. There's so many.
Really good.
Yeah. Because you win the best in the show in best category it was out of this world, right? Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, they first announced the category winners. And already then I was like, what? and in the end they picked the category winners and like for the best in show,
yeah.
finale. And yeah, then I kind of
But well deserved, I'm sure.
Yeah.
no, thank you.
I
really need to go and check it out. I'm like,
I was hoping
why
when
haven't I seen this? Like,
when I see the category you are in what is this world, and I said, oh, she must win the best in the show because everything every cosplay was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
In all categories. But when I saw yours, I said, oh my god, this is out of this. Yeah, this is going to win. When I saw best in the show, yes.
I mean, the category was really cool. Out of this world. I haven't seen it before. Usually it's like armor, needlework, and maybe special effects or something like that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fit anywhere because it's not realistic armor, it's not realistic needlework, and it's not really special effects either. So I just would have been like, whatever.
Yeah.
and And with Out of This World, I think they picked up everything and anything that you could think of, which is really nice. I love that.
That's actually a good idea, yeah. So guys, it's time for another break before
Oh, I
this just
didn't-
shuts down.
No, it was you to notice. I didn't notice the okay. So we're going to
Yeah,
going
we'll be
to
right
make-
back.
yeah, okay. So see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, people, we are back, and this is the last part of the show. So, Polygon's still here, so this is awesome.
Hello. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the chat, please.
In the chat.
This is going to be the last part, so hurry up. I need those questions now.
No.
Let's talk twice as fast.
Just so people feel the stress.
Yeah.
Need to make the question.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, God.
So, who's next? It's you or it's me?
It's me.
It's me, Mario. Okay, it is.
So my question is, do you have any tips for people wanting to try out Polygon cosplays in terms of programs, materials? How should they get around to try it?
Okay, so if you want to try it for real and not just dabble a bit in it, then you almost have to learn 3D modeling first, because you cannot really buy these patterns online. Most people, you know, they sell lots of patterns, but they're not Polygon patterns, so you can't use them. So you have to end up making your own, which means you have to learn 3D modeling, basically. And there are like lots of pretty good Blender tutorials out there. So if you want to use a free software, I can recommend Blender. I think there's also lots of other different tools that are used for modeling, for cosplay, etc. But it's just what I know, and I know it works, so I recommend that. And let me check. I think Blender even has a YouTube channel, an official one with like beginner tutorials. Pretty sure they do. So you could start there, and once you're comfortable with that and you make your patterns, I say start experimenting with materials. I learned that pretty much anything that's flat and shiny ends up looking good, versus if you have something bumpy like Warbler, or what else? Maybe let's just stick to Warbler. That will probably not work so well because you have to do a lot of sanding to get it smooth. So it's probably better to just pick something that's smooth from the beginning, so you have less work. And yeah. And also you have to kind of work very cleanly. So you need a ruler and a sharp knife, else nothing is going to look good. That's kind of the basics, yeah. And then just, I do recommend making paper prototypes just to see if like the proportions are right and if you can get in and out, or if you need to adjust something. So that's a huge time saver. So you don't have to like build a piece and, oh, I can't put it on because my head's too big, and then redo it. That would be so much work wasted. So really invest
materials, really.
Yeah, like invest the half hour it takes to make a paper helmet, and you will know it will work. Yeah, I think that's that. I know. Learn 3D modeling. It's a pretty big hurdle. I realize that, but if you try to make the patterns by hand, you can do that, but it's just going to be very frustrating because there are so many angles that have to fit perfectly, and if they don't, it ends up looking a bit wobbly, or like it won't fit in the end, which is even more frustrating. So, you know, having good patterns really is the base of it. If you have patterns that sort of kind of work, it might work out, but it might also look not the way you want it to. So yeah, that's kind of, there's almost no way around it, I think. If you're serious, if you just want to glue a couple of polygons together, you can do that, obviously, without 3D skills or anything. Yeah, but it's not the most beginner-friendly thing ever.
It's more like, you know, if people still want to try it, I mean,
yeah, sure,
go ahead.
Please do. I mean, you could start with something let's see, maybe a purse or something that you can just, take a paper and fold it and draw a bunch of triangles on it. Beautiful. And cut those out and put them back together. Use a ruler, not. And this totally works. But once you get into making this intricate, detailed, complex 3D shape, you making it by hand is just no, no way. It just takes way too long, and it's not gonna get accurate, and it's going to look not as nice as you'd like it to, and then you end up frustrated. So if you do start, keep it simple, and yes, and use rulers.
Very important. Don't forget rulers,
Don't forget.
guys.
Don't forget. Okay. So it's me.
Yes.
Okay, it's me. Okay. So what is your next convention?
So I will be a guest at Fantasy Basel in Switzerland, which is taking place in October. Let me check. That is October 8 to 10. So yeah, I'll be guesting there. That's probably the only convention I go to this year because I have other stuff to do. Yeah, but yeah, that's that. And next year I'll see what else comes up.
So have you decided which cosplay you're taking? Or if you're taking cosplay, I mean.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm taking Taito for sure. And if I have space, maybe a helmet or two and some gloves or like just some extra stuff. Yeah, but mainly Taito for sure.
That's good.
Because I haven't worn it at a physical convention yet, so I want to try it.
Yeah.
I hope it will go well. Like I'm guessing after such a long time and online conventions and just being online with everyone, it's finally good to go back to physical conventions where you can actually talk to people face to face.
What? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. I really miss that, like just typing or stuff. It's cool, but it's not the same as seeing the costumes in person and going like,
exactly.
how did you make this?
Yeah. And of course, I guess, well, I'm not sure about you, but if you're also taller or the costume is taller, it's so striking in real life. It's like, what?
This is real. I'm not that tall.
Oh, how high are you? I mean,
like these? What's that? Oh god, I'm so bad. I think something beneath 170. I think 168 maybe. I don't know. I haven't measured it. Well, yeah, maybe.
I'm just like 157 or something. So it's like, yes, tell me more about how you're small.
No. The funny thing is, whenever I am at a convention, someone will walk up to me and go like, I imagined you were taller. Like, yep, sorry. I'm not. No, I'm small compared to other cosplayers.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, living in Switzerland and have Germany over there as well. I think people are mostly taller there, so. But then your costumes are, at least this one, it's also kind of, it ends like up here, so it kind of gives you more.
Most do. Taito has like the mask is up here, and then it has a feather, so it's like. And Anubis is the same. Like the snout is up here, and then you have ears. I'm over 2 meters tall, I think, because of the ears. They're massive.
Exactly. Do you know how the rules of the convention are going to be? Are they changing something because of COVID or?
You need to be like for sure vaccinated or have a test, a recent one, or what's the third one? Like if you were sick, you have to be recovered and have a certificate for that. So you need some sort of certificate for sure. I don't know about masks. I hope you have to wear a mask. So we'll see.
You already
Um,
have a mask on the cosplay, right?
I do. I
Yeah.
wear one anyways.
Yeah.
But it only works if everybody wears them. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
I hope that's gonna be the case. And
Mhm,
other than that, I don't know if they have like limit in numbers or
mhm,
number per, per hall or whatever.
mhm,
That I don't know yet. They will announce for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, good.
But yeah, we'll see how things gonna go from here on. So
Yeah.
And okay, Gazaki is just
Mm.
saying you're really inspiring. I'd love to see
Aw.
your work in real life. Got to start incorporating platforms on your cosplay.
Yeah. No. Not comfy enough.
I guess it
No.
depends if you wear like platform shoes. They're really comfy because
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
It's just that you have
A big
extra
shoe.
inches.
Yeah, I totally could do that.
Mm.
Well, here's something to think about.
Depends on the character's foot design, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot add them everywhere, so yeah.
Mhm.
But if it makes sense, for sure, yeah.
Okay, and I guess we're gonna go for the last question. So, do you want to leave a message to your fans?
Sure. I mean, cosplay fans, any fans.
All the fans.
Any fans?
Yeah, I guess just if you have a hobby, it doesn't matter if it's cosplay or anything else. Just do it because do it for you, for yourself. Don't do it for the others or for the likes or for whatever fame and fortune and that stuff. Just do what you enjoy because you only have this life and you gotta live it for, make the best out of it and do things you enjoy doing. And if it's crafting, that's awesome. If it's something else, that's also awesome. Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
really
that's
good
that.
message.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
thank you so much for coming.
Coming was our
today,
pleasure.
and-
Yeah, thanks for having me
Yeah.
and for making awesome intros and all that.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I think I don't know if he Gazaki said any question about now. No. Oh, oh, okay. So thanks once again for being in your oh sorry in your show. So my English is terrible right now. Don't know why.
Oh, good.
I think this is all. So I can see you. By the way, if people want to follow you and everything, and your pages will be on the description on the link of YouTube, and
Mhm.
that's all. I think.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you, everyone who
Thank you for
watched this as well.
Yeah. And see you next time. Thank you so much, Polly.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Yeah, where's the button? Okay, now I missed the button. Oh God, no.
What are you drinking in that cup?
Only water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Where?
Even the camera is
Okay. No.
blurry.
So see you, people.
Bye-bye.
Bye.